How's it going, you guys? Today's episode, I'm very excited to go into. It's going to be my 2-year reflection of breaking into medical device sales. And so I just always do this because I know I have a lot of new listeners that you guys are listening. In this episode, I actually do take some time to give you guys my background, tell you about who I am. But just a real quick personal trainer 3 years ago. I came in with the largest company in the world in med device with no sales experience, and now a regional sales manager. And so been able to help over 600 people break in. But since I don't have a lot of time at the end, I just do want to tell you guys, if you guys are watching on YouTube, press that like and subscribe button. If you guys are listening on podcast, a 5-star review really does help us grow, you guys. And it's been just so amazing for all the support that you give us. So I just want to say thank you to you guys. And then also real quick, everybody's been reaching out to me. If you guys are interested in the course at this time, I do offer a course. I've been able to help over 600 people break into medical device sales. Our average person is getting placed in 11 weeks from the course, and they are getting placed at $91,000 is the average salary. So to give you guys an idea real quick, just last week got Stryker, Medtronic, Johnson & Johnson, 3 people placed, and none of them had sales experience. So showing you that you don't need sales experience, you can come in and you can absolutely crush it in this world. But again, really just want to say appreciate your guys' support. At this point, I have over 120 episodes. Literally picked up the camera and the podcast when I was a personal trainer and till where we're at now. So it's been fun to do this reflection, but I just wanted to put this in for you guys. But let's get into the episode. Welcome back to New to Medical Device Sales. I am your host, Jacob McLaughlin, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day or evening or whenever you guys are listening to this. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you will see that I have new glasses. No, I don't need glasses, quote unquote, for my sight. It's the blue light, all that good stuff. Been staring at screens, having headaches, so started wearing these. So if you're watching, you'll be seeing my little ring that gives me a little better lighting. But I hope you guys are doing great, and I'm really excited to come to you today. Just because, you know, this last month I celebrated 2 years in the industry. And so I had a fun thing where I did, you know, a 3-month, a 6-month, a 12-month reflection in medical device sales. And so what I wanted to do today is go back and just give you guys like a real quick 2-year reflection and my advice as somebody who's been in the industry for 2 years. And so I just wanted to come and make this episode for you guys just to really kind of reflect on the last 2 years, kind of go over what I've done, been able to accomplish, and now where I'm at, and then also just my advice to you guys on, you know, having success, getting where you want to go, and really what being in the industry for 2 years has really taught me. And so I want to just give that to you guys. Again, the one thing I do want to say is I know we have a lot of listeners out here and brand new people who might watch this. And so I just want to give you guys a little bit of background about who I am real quick. So again, if you guys have listened for a while, you know the story, but real quick, like a little 1-minute pitch about myself, you guys, is, you know, 3 years ago, I was a personal trainer. I decided I wanted to break into medical device sales. I got told by thousands of people that I was never going to break into medical device sales without B2B sales experience. And so I decided I wasn't going to listen to those people because I was already feeling like, hey, I'm already training. I make these people come to me, get results, pay me. If they don't pay me, I actually don't get to live and pay my bills or anything. So I already knew that I was doing more. I was working harder, working more hours, taking bigger risk being a personal trainer than I was if I went to go sell ADP or copiers or whatever that was. And so because of that, I decided to reach out to thousands of people, end up getting 4 job offers from top companies such as Medtronic, Johnson & Johnson, Stryker, and Zimmer Biomet. From there, I was able to go and work with the largest company in the world with Medtronic. I then took the lowest performing territory in the nation, was able to go into the top 10, actually finished number 8 last year. From there was headhunted, and then I now have taken a regional sales manager role for Innovis Medical, and I run the whole Western United States for our company here. And so I'm very blessed, but to give you guys a real quick opportunity to understand what I've been able to accomplish is, you know, the average person that's a regional sales manager probably has anywhere from 5 to 7 to maybe even 10 years experience, has been able to perform. And I always just tell people I was able to do it with under 2. I broke in at 25, and by the age of 27, I actually had already become a regional sales manager. So before I was at 2 years in, I was already a regional sales manager with a proven track record. And so at this point, I've also been able to help over 600 people break into medical device sales with and without sales experience. And that's why I get so passionate, because again, I've heard everybody tell me I won't make it. I've heard the people tell me that you're not going to be successful, that you won't be able to get in if you don't have that sales experience. I literally just had somebody on one of the YouTube videos rip me just 5 pages telling me how they've been in for 25 years and, oh, we'll never break in. You need to go get it. You haven't served your time. And I just, I don't mess with it anymore. I used to have some fun with them, but now it's just, I just smile and be like, I didn't respond back, but if I was going to, it was just going to be like, John, 25 years ago, you used to do faxes and use a BlackBerry. We don't do that anymore either, right? And so with me getting over 600 people, me beating out 200 people, me for my most recent job beating out 500 people for this position and having success every single time, I sit here and smile because everybody's going to tell you can't do something and then you go and do it. So that's going to be real quick to give you guys a background about who I am and what I'm here and what I'm doing. And again, to let you guys know, I actually recorded when I was a personal trainer. So I actually have been able to take my job. Sorry if you guys are watching on my YouTube. My dog is just wanting to be a baby, and he's had a very good day. We've gone on lots of walks. So I was just telling him to be quiet. He's going to go lay down now. Getting sidetracked, but I don't even know what I was talking about. The dog just cracks me up, my gosh. But going back into the podcast, you guys, I just wanted to make this 2-year reflection because, again, I don't know what I was just talking about. I'm sidetracked now. But give you guys some depth into this video and be able to help you guys. So I just wanted to give you that background because, that's what I was saying is, I started recording as a personal trainer. So you guys can literally go back when I was a personal trainer and see my whole journey. I've documented all days in the life, actually being a personal trainer and now breaking in and to where I'm at now and traveling. So, and even my interview process with Innovis, I've documented. So you guys can always go find that. But let's get into it. 2-year reflection, medical device sales. The one thing I just want to say is it's been truly humbling to do this reflection for me. To sit here and tell you guys, like, again, I go back and I'll watch those videos of when I was a personal trainer and see where I'm at now, because I'm sitting here telling you guys as somebody who, worked hundreds of hours a week and was just doing everything just to try to make 50, 60K a year, to now be able to be financially free and not have to worry about it and also see the success that I personally have been able to achieve. Like I said, it's been humbling. It's been great. It's been a great learning experience. I've learned so much and understanding that this is step number 1 of many. No, this is just the beginning. So I just say that to the gratitude of also to you guys listening, to everybody who's been watching, who's been supporting, who sends me the beautiful messages and the nice messages, like how much I truly do appreciate you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you to you guys. But when I am reflecting, it's been an awesome ride. It's been a crazy ride. I've learned so incredibly much, and it's only getting more and more exciting. So let's get into it. So 2-year reflection, my advice to you guys. Number 1, being a sponge, always learning, right? I'm sitting here 2 years in, and every single day I'm still learning. I actually just had my test today for my quarterly review. And it's just going over all of our new products, going over making sure I know all of our different procedures, all the different packages that we offer, all the different specialties, and what that means is I'm always learning, I'm always studying, I'm always doing some kind of research, trying to make myself know what I'm talking about. And so the thing I'm telling you guys, if you want to have success, you want to be successful in this industry and anything in life, you always got to be learning. And I remember listening to a podcast one time, and it was just talking about business. So this isn't even advice, but it was business. And it was the people who lose and the people who go out of business are the people who try to stay the same. Right? They're like, for example, that guy 25 years in, we've done it for this way for this long. Yeah, John, and you also didn't used to have Facebook. Like, I don't know what to tell you. The internet wasn't around. And now that changes a lot of the world. So that's the thing, is you guys always got to be learning, because this world never stops. Just like medical device, medical sales, it's always coming out. There's new companies, there's new technology, and it's always happening. So just being able to be a sponge and being able to learn and try to learn from everybody, right? I was just having a call today with one of the people I was talking to, and they said, like we talked, I always believe you have something to learn from somebody. Everybody has value to offer, but with that said, you have to be very careful of who you take advice from. And when I say that is, everybody's going to have something to say, and I believe everybody has something to teach you. But some of the times it might be just don't be a jerk, right? Like that person's an actual jerk, and you're just like, I just don't want to be like them. They taught you, okay, I don't want to be a jerk, and so it's a good learning lesson, right? And so I take that because I take the joke, and I say this to people too all the time, is, I'm not going to go to a homeless person for financial advice. No offense to the homeless people, I bet they're great, but I'm not going to take money advice from somebody who has no money, right? And so that's just like my joke, and like the reason I'm saying that to you guys is same thing to people in the industry. I've probably had this talk 15 times in the last week, is there's a lot of reps in the industry. I look at my board when I was last place to where I'm top 10, and I'm looking at this list, and there's a lot of people that are 30, 40, 50 reps down, and they're not even at 100%. They're not even hitting quota, but they'll be the first one to give you guys advice. They'll be the first one to tell you it's great, or they'll be the first one to tell you how bad this industry sucks and how unhappy they are. I literally just talked to a girl today. She's trying to break in, and she's like, it's been so unheartening, and it's hurt because I've actually had a couple people tell me that I'm wasting my time. This is a horrible industry, and I always laugh because I'm like, it's those people who are miserable. And just to give you guys a quick story, I had a guy, he was at Stryker when I was trying to break in, and I was getting hired during the COVID, so it was a hiring freeze. I remember he reached out to me. He only talked to me because I was from Iowa, and he was from Iowa, and he just told me, you must really suck if you haven't been able to break in yet. If you've talked to 150 reps and you can't get in. And I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget that guy. I know exactly who he is. And the reason I'm saying that to you guys is because that guy, when I broke in, was out of the industry in 4 months. He hated his life. He wasn't performing. He wasn't good. But he was trying to tell me why I would suck and how I must suck, how I am not in yet, right? And so what I'm just telling you guys is there's going to be a lot of people who are going to give you advice, who are going to tell you what you should do, and most of them are trash. Most of them aren't performing. Most of these reps have been in for 5, 10 years, and they're still not performing, right? And so, again, this isn't a smash on anybody, but I say this to everybody. When you go to listen to somebody, you should really pay attention to what they've done and what they're doing and see how really good the results are. Because like I said, there's a lot of people who will get on calls with you guys and talk to you. They never performed. They've never crushed it. They've never been top 10. They've never hit quota, right? And so I'm just saying that because again, I've talked about it. I'm open on my podcast. I have people who message me all the time who tell me to shut my mouth, who I don't know what I'm talking about. And those same people have been in the industry for 7 years and they've never hit quota. And yet here I am, a regional sales manager with 2 years experience, right? Like it's my favorite quote lately. I said it in my one with Johnny. Eagles don't fly with pigeons, man. So if you're trying to do something great, you're trying to be something well. You can't always flock and be like the pigeons all pecking the bird seed somewhere else. Maybe you got to elevate yourself. And so again, that's not coming out of a place of cockiness. It's just being a place of you got to understand where you're going. And so I said this because this resonates with a lot of athletes, right? I played basketball in college, and I say this because it makes sense. There's a lot of bench warmers who tell you what you should be doing, but they're on the bench. Right? Like I say this all the time, man. Like until you get on the field, shut your mouth. Like until you're in it, what are you giving me? Until you actually hit quota and until you actually finish top 10, what are you giving? Like why am I going to take advice from you? Yeah, you've been in the industry for 10 years. Yeah, but you've sucked for 10 years. You've done just enough not to get fired. Right? Like that is going to be a part where I come in and I'm egotistical 100% because there's a lot of people who've told me why I wasn't going to be successful, why I'm not going to be good, and they're still 10 reps, 10 years in, and they still haven't hit quota, or they've hit 101%, and they're sandbagging so that they can just work 30 hours a week and make 140 grand because they don't want to go too much, but because I'm going to just screw myself. And I heard that all the time. I'm crushing it last year, and what did they say? Don't crush it too much. You might make too much money, and then they're going to jack your quota up, and then you're not going to be well off. You got to be smart, right? Like I just feel like that's a loser mentality. Like, just go and figure it out, because those are the same people who are going to be blaming back orders, COVID, all the problems that are happening in the world, why they're not hitting quota. Like, figure it out. And so that's where I get real passionate, as you guys can hear me say, because everyone's going to give you their piece of advice, and most people aren't even worth willing to listen to. So that's number one. But again, I went way off topic of be a sponge, be willing to listen. But on that second part is make sure who you're listening to, is worth listening to. Again, if, like I say this to people, you want to go be a top performer, you should probably go talk to top performers. It's no different. I say this all the time in my mentorships and in the courses, and I talk about this all the time. You want to be a millionaire, you probably should hang out with millionaires. You want to be an athlete, go hang out with athletes. You are going to be like who you hang out with. But again, just because you want to get in this industry, there's a lot of people, like I told you, that you'll talk to on the phone. They're not happy. They've been in it for 5 years. They make 150K, but after taxes, they're getting 110, right? And they're not happy, and they're making 5-6 grand a month, and they're getting treated like trash, but they have a negative attitude, and they're just not happy. And now they're going to project that onto you as you're excited trying to come in and break into this industry or be really good in this industry. And then it's just like, what are you doing, right? So I just wanted to make that really clear for you guys, because I know there's a lot of people that have reached out to me. That happens to you guys. There's people that just suck, and that sucks to say, but it's true. So don't listen to those guys. I just want to say this because I watched this. It was a quote by Jay-Z on TikTok of all places, but like, I just felt it so hard. I remember I reshared it when I watched it, and he was like, people tell you what they're going to do. They put their fears onto you. And he's like, my uncle told me I would never sell a million records. I've sold a million records like a million times. He's like, just because you can't do it doesn't mean I can't do it, and I love that, because what you guys will learn, if you want to be successful in sales, you have to have a little bit of that chip on your shoulder. Where like, hey, I don't care if nobody else believes in me. I believe in me. I'm gonna take a shot. Just because you didn't do it, that sucks for you, but I'm gonna do it, and I believe I am. And guess what? I might be young enough and dumb enough and crazy enough just to believe I am, but guess what? My butt still wakes up at 4 a.m. and I'm still gonna put in an 18-hour day, work more, do several businesses, still run around the circle, and still kick your butt in every aspect. And if I don't, I deserve to lose, right? Like that's the talk I have with everybody. So again, guys, I hope that's just an encouragement to you in this world. Number 2, come prepared, come over-prepared, triple check is what I have written down. And what I mean is, you guys think you're going to be prepared. You can never be over-prepared. I learned this when I was at Medtronic. You think if you have 2 trays, you need 3. If you think you have enough supplies, bring extra. Because even when I was doing this job, and I still do it today, I just had it last month. Triple checked, had everything I needed, and then we ended up going through more than I expected, and so then I had to be like, crap, I need to be able to come up with a solution, right? But it's just showing you, even when you think you have everything, all it takes is one thing, and I'll sit here and tell you from experience, there's no worse feeling than being in that surgery and realizing you missed one thing, and that one thing you have to do the surgery. That's the worst feeling. That's the rep, because you're going to get chewed out. That patient's not getting the best possible outcome, right? And so that's just for you guys. Triple check. Make sure you've gone through it. Over prepare. Make sure you guys are ready for it. That's the stuff I'm going to talk to you guys about, because that's what you have to do if you want to be successful, and it's only going to keep continuing to go. Like I'm sitting here telling you guys, it's not like it was just 1 year and it's done, or it's 6 months and that's what it's done. No, it's every day I have to make sure I'm over prepared. Every email, am I rereading it, making sure that it makes sense, that I miss not one word, because all it takes is for you to mess up one email to ruin a whole deal. So that's what I'm just making sure. Whatever you guys are doing, you need to make sure you're coming prepared, not only coming prepared, but you're also coming over prepared and triple checking. And to the point of Elliot, where we just had him on last episodes, is, I just had my quarterly review with him and we talked about it, and the conversation was, he said it in the podcast, is if I'm going to take a test, I should be able to take that test 3 or 4 times of different answers and still be able to ace every single one. So I'm so prepared. If I come in and I choke, I still pass. I still got an 80 and I still did better than the majority, right? That's how over prepared you should be, even with your guys' surgeries, what you guys are coming in to do, or for your guys' interview process. Right? And I just had this conversation with a person. Most people lose interviews because they don't come prepared. They want to do the bare minimum. I literally had some girl today ask me, so how much do I pay you to let you do all the work and then just tell me when you have a job for me? We had a good talk after that, because I just said that's not life, right? You can't pay, because everybody you talk to, if you guys just try to pay for something and you get everything you want, it's too good to be true. You won't appreciate it, and it's not going to work out. And also, I said this: what if we did that and then we broke you into the industry? Guess what? You're going to get your butt kicked in the industry because you don't know what you're doing, right? So you have to learn how to do it, do the work, actually come prepared, and no different than what you guys, when you're trying to break in, to once you are in and once you continue to stay in the industry. So that's number 2 for you guys. Number 3, not every prospect is a sale. So this is the people who are already in there, but also, again, I try to make it for everybody. Same thing for you people that are applying to break into medical device sales. The reason I say that is, I had to learn this the hard way. I was just having a talk with my buddy Omar the other day, and we were talking about, when I first started, I used to go to this account. They told me they had 11 doctors. They told me they were going to use us. They were doing a trial and all this stuff. And then I realized after being there for 2 weeks, the doctors were being rude. There was no talk of purchasing. They just kept wanting free stuff. And I realized that I'm like, they're just using me. They just want everything for free. They're not actually going to buy, right? And that was a real learning moment for me because that was in my first month of being a rep. And so, but I learned real fast. They're not an actual prospect. They're saying they're telling you they're going to possibly buy, but they're never going to buy. They just want free stuff, right? And so what I'm just saying that is, I do that all the time. Everybody, I hear certain salespeople and they're like, you can always turn a no into a yes, and that's just not true. You can turn a maybe into a yes, but if someone tells you no and they're using the competitor and they've been using the competitor for 17 years and they absolutely love that person and that person goes to their family stuff and they have a personal relationship, you're not converting them. Like, it's just not going to happen. I literally have had doctors, they're like, I've been friends with the rep for 7 years. You could have the best product in the world. I'm not going to give you the business, right? And so that's just understanding that just because people reach out, there's a lot of people who are going to reach out, say they're interested, but they're not. And so you have to just be able to push it through. And that's something that I'm very proud to say, like, I can do now. But like, it took me some time to be like, this person's reaching out. How serious are they? And again, you guys, I had this talk with one of my students, but it's the easiest way to put it is just think about dating. Right? And when you, because again, I always say this, when we're trying to do sales, you guys overcomplicate it, I overcomplicate it. You bring it into dating terms, it all makes sense, right? Does that manager actually text you back and want you? Does that sale actually ask to be interested? Do they try to push you? Do they ask for products? Are they reaching out to you? Do they respond when you reach out to them? Are they getting on calls? Are they talking about the next steps? Those are saying no different than when you're going out on a date. Do you have a good relationship? Like, do you have good energy? Are you guys talking? Do you guys be able to have good communication? Is that person really like talking to you, or do they just ghost you? Because again, when we bring it into the dating, it all makes sense to people. If someone just ghosts you and then you get a text at 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. or 2 a.m., what's you up? We all know what that means, right? Same thing when a manager ghosts you for 3 weeks and says, hey, you're still interested? We might have an opportunity, okay? They're just dragging you around, seeing if they have other options. No different than when I'm going through a sales and someone literally just had this happen where somebody tells me, yeah, we're going to buy. They're never going to buy. They're just saying that. Just had a deal where we're having conversations of like bigger conversations, but they're not even doing the original conversation, right? That's not real serious. You're just bluffing. And then you have to learn, being a good sales rep and doing this world, is you got to call bluffs sometimes. All right, let's see. Put the cards on the table. Here's my cards. I'm putting them all on the table. Let's see yours. And guess what? They don't bring it up. Okay. So it was just a bluff. And so just saying that not every prospect is an actual sale for you guys. Just like every opportunity you guys reach out, somebody says, hey, yeah, we might have a position in 2 months. It's not an actual prospect. They're going to tell you that. Guess what? Hiring freeze, recession, layoffs. They hired an internal candidate. It was an actual sale. So again, for you guys to just think about that and understand. Number 4, not everyone is going to like you. I think I already did a good enough job of explaining that at the beginning of this podcast. But just again, you guys, as you guys go, and if you are somebody who wants to have success in this industry, there's going to be a lot of people who don't like it. So again, I will say this, I'm very blessed and I'm thankful for everyone who sends me positive messages, tell me how I impact them and that I motivate them. That's really nice. But I want you guys to know, behind the scenes, for everybody sending me one of those messages, I'm getting another message telling me how much I suck, why I shouldn't be giving advice, why I shouldn't do what I do, how can I do this, I must be a horrible rep. Because again, people get jealous, people don't like it, people can't stand that somebody came in with not as much experience, that didn't do sales and didn't grind and put in that hours, but yet I've worked harder, and that I'm giving advice and helping people for free and making YouTubes and taking all this time at 9 p.m. on a Thursday night to make this podcast, but they won't even get on a call for 5 minutes with somebody to help them, but I'm the piece of trash, right? That's what they'll do, and then they'll keyboard warriors, never would say it to my face, but will tell me how bad I suck, all that. It's the same thing. I walk in to an industry, there's been times the nurses have told me, what the fuck are you doing here? We don't like you. You suck. Your competitor's way better. Didn't even know their name. Found out the name Sharon, right? Oh, hey, Sharon, right? But I'm telling you guys this, from when you guys are coming into this industry, not everyone's going to like you, and that's okay. Not when you start having success, when you are a go-getter, when you challenge people, when you make people be like, dang, this guy's been in for under 2 years and he's beating the heck out of me, guess what happens? Insecurities happen. People are going to put their disbeliefs on you. They're going to call you names. They're going to talk trash about you. And I still get, it's hilarious and I love it, I still get texts from random people telling me some random person I don't know is talking trash about me. Guess what? I don't even know who they are, but they know my name. They know me. And I just sit here, and that's the biggest flex ever, right? I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that for you guys too. When you get into this industry, when you're going to do it, screw it. Like, screw the industry. Get going and doing anything in life. If you're going to go and take chances, if you're going to go do something great, if you're going to go make a difference in this world, you are going to have people who do not like you. That's the problem, is too many people want to be liked. And guess what? When you're doing something great, when you're making impact, you're not going to have everyone like you. And let me just make this clear. Until you have people actually not liking you, you're not making a big enough impact. You will know when you're making a big enough impact, you're doing something great, you're on the right path once you start having people not like you, talk trash, right? And I say this because I've seen that in the hospitals where you're like go-getters, nurses, scrub techs, they don't like it because you bring in this energy. You make more money than them. Oh, you're more driven than they are. That's on them. And I always joke around, this is a new saying I have, that's a you problem, not a me problem. And that's the absolute truth. You're going to have a lot of people who have me problems, and they're going to blame it because they're just not as driven as you, and they hate you because it's a them problem, not a you problem. And you got to just stay true to you. So again, because the reason I'm going into so much detail is I know the people who listen to my podcast, the people who are sensitive and don't like it and all this, they logged off. They already left a comment and left. The people who are like still listening in at minute 24 are like, dang, yeah, I feel this. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that girl. I'm going to come in. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to change my whole entire life. I'm going to do this. That's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you guys, because that's the people that I actually attract, and that's the people I want to have impact on. And so that's why I say that to you guys, is when you're going to go and do something great, there's going to be a lot of people back there singing your praise, and there's going to be a lot of people banging your name down and saying it's bad. And guess what? When you make it to the top and you see them, they'll say they were cheering you on the whole time, but they weren't, right? And so that's just something to be aware of as you guys do it. And lastly, number 5, have unrealistic goals. And I'm just going to sit on this for a second, man. Like, that was like the biggest reflection point for me, is like sitting here and telling you guys in 2 years I've accomplished more than most people accomplish in 5 to 10 years in med device. And that's not sitting here, I'm not trying to brag, but it's the facts. I'm just telling you guys how it is. And I'm sitting here saying, man, I didn't even think I could do that. But now I got even bigger goals. I got bigger things that people don't even understand. They don't even know. And when I do it, I'm playing chess, and they're just going to blow their mind, because I'm going to do something and I'm going to crush them in every single aspect. And guess what? That's a fifth of what I'm doing. And they can't even do it good. And that's all they do. I'm just going to come in and I'm going to do it all this. Have unrealistic goals. You might not make 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month, 100 grand a month. Then just go do it. Because guess what? If you go and do it and you go put in the work and you don't hit it, you're way closer than if you didn't. If you would have just said, I'm just going to make $5,000, cool, you can go make 5 grand, cool. But guess what? What if you said, I want to make 50 grand? Guess what? Let's say you don't make 50 grand, but let's say you made $27,000 that month. Guess what? That's a lot closer to 50K than if you just would have accepted 10 grand, right? Have unrealistic goals. Stop coming in and say, I'm going to be an associate rep for 2 years, and then I'm going to go work for 5 and 7 years for these big companies, and then I'm going to be a manager, hopefully. Great. If that's what you want to do, good. Awesome, nice job. But how about you start saying, I'm going to come in and within a year I'm trying to get out, because I'm going to bring so much value. I'm going to absolutely crush it. I'm going to make such a big impact on this world and on these people that they have no option but to find me. If they don't take me, guess what? Some other company or some other division or some other territory is going to hear about me, see me, and they're going to come after me. How about you guys go start doing that? How about you say, hey, instead of just coming in and being a rep, which again, there's nothing wrong with, but that's going to come in and just work 30, 40 hours a week and make 150K. How about you be that person who's like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to crush it, I'm going to make 300K this year. How about you be that person? How about you be that person who just says, my family, and I'm sitting here telling you guys, my family may not be financially well off. I might have to support my family. But guess what? I'm going to be that change. I'm going to make sure they don't have to worry about money. I'm going to be the one that makes my whole family, my generational wealth happen. I'm going to be the one that does it. Screw everybody else. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care what anybody else says or does. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to change it. How about you do that? How about you be that person? How about you make such unrealistic goals? When you tell people, they laugh in your face. Because let me promise you, when you do that, they can't believe it. And when you do it in 2 years, you're the one laughing. You're the one smiling. And you're the one saying, I haven't even got it started yet. be that person. That's what I want for you guys. So again, I get so big on that, guys, because if again, I don't even care if it's about medical device sales. You guys will hear this. This whole podcast, almost nothing to do with medical device sales. It's about be the best person that you can be. Be so obsessed with self-development that you only continue to get better so you can be the best possible person that you can become, and go make an impact on this world, on your family, on your own life, so you could live a life that you never even imagined. And again, this is never a brag to you guys. I'm just sitting here telling you guys, at 28 years old, I can quit my job. I don't have to work for the next 5 years. I could take every trip that I wanted to. And 3 years ago, I was sleeping on an air mattress, waking up on the ground, working 100 hours a week. I make more money in a month than I made in a whole year one time. Like, that's the possibility with this industry. That's the possibility of you working hard. And again, not even in this industry. If you just work hard, you have a dream, and you're willing to put in the work and do all the stuff and let all the people talk while they're just sitting there drinking beer on the weekends and being lazy and telling you, I would have been successful, or I could have done it, but this happened. Screw that, man. Just go do you. Go be the one that rocks. Go be the one that's going to be successful. And guess what? All that matters is at the end of the day, you can go and put your head on the pillow, sleep, and say, hey, I did the right thing. I treated people the right way. I made an impact on this world, and I know I'm going to live the life I want. That's it. Just focus on that, guys. So again, I'm about to run out of time, but that's my 2-year reflection. I hope you guys got value of it. At the end of the day, guys, make unrealistic goals, work hard, come prepared, make sure that you guys are always learning, and then just understand not everyone's going to like you, and they don't have to like you. Go make the world you want. If you guys are interested in breaking into medical device sales, we just this last week helped people break in at Stryker, J&J, and Medtronic. All of them had no sales experience, but through the course they were able to break in. If you guys are looking for a mentor, again, I only allow 5 people into my course because I get people hired. Just to give you some stats, the average person in my course is getting hired in 11 weeks, and the average salary they're getting placed at is $91,000. So that's a little background. If you guys are interested, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or New to Medical Device Sales, Jacob McLaughlin, and I can talk to you guys, get on a call. Happy. But I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.